Yeah, we go up. Chasing this money, it give me a rush. I am the shit and I still can't be flushed. Still in the six and I still can't be touched. Craving rap bitches, eat them up for lunch. Moving that white like the Brady Bunch. They think that I'm soft until I make it crunch. Yeah, they think that I'm soft until I make it. I load up the chopper, might light your whole block up. If you feeling froggy, then leave.
Hey, my creators, what's going on? You already know when the how go. It's another edition of Cuts. You know what the Cuts stand for? Culture, urban, technology, and sports. Yes, my creators, we are now at episode 107. Episode 106, I had Samantha Lawson. Oh, that was an amazing interview. My God, the laughs, the joke arounds, the similarities of what we do in media and everything like that. Oh, it was amazing. But nonetheless, got another great guest here. You know, this is definitely with tech, my creators, the T in Cuts. You know what I'm saying? I love talking to tech people because, you know, definitely in tech, there's a gazillion issues going on, but also there's a gazillion resolutions that are happening that's making things advance at a high rate. So nonetheless, I got Brandon Leibowitz in the building. What's good, Brandon Leibowitz? How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
Nah, no problem, man. Listen, man, I listen, you know, always do a little story time real quick. I'm not gonna lie, my creators. I think if I'm not mistaken, Brandon hit me up on LinkedIn. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was LinkedIn. He hit me up and then followed up on IG. And I'm not gonna lie, man, we were trying to get this interview out for a minute, and I'm glad I got him because he's definitely dope in the digital marketing space and as well as SEO expert. So I definitely wanted him to chop it up with us for a little bit because I know he has a busy schedule. So I definitely glad I got some minor time or some time with him, period. Nonetheless, Brandon, let's get right into it, man. Off the rip, man. What do you feel about SEO? Being an SEO expert, I mean, I know that's a little cliche question, whatever, but in your heart of hearts, let's say especially within the last 2 years since the pandemic, how important has SEO been for anybody that has a brand or a company thereof?
Yeah, no, SEO has been important ever since I've been doing it since back in 2007. It's just people don't understand the value of it or don't understand what SEO is, which SEO is search engine optimization, which means ranking websites on Google. So when you search on Google, there's ads at the top. Those are all paid ads. They pay for every click that someone clicks on it. They're paying Google. But right below it is organic, the free listings, the SEO. And that's what it's all about, is trying to get you up there in those free listings. So you're not spending money every time someone clicks on your website. And I mean, nowadays, especially with everything that's been going on, everything really is shifted towards digital. If you're not online, you're missing out. Your competitors are going to be there and they're going to take that traffic from you. You might be complacent. You might have a restaurant or a physical location. You might be fine getting visitors there, but you really want to branch out and expand. You got to take that presence online, and SEO is just a way to tap into that free traffic. Paid ads, social media, email marketing, it all works. It's just SEO is that free traffic.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm really glad you touched on that. My creators, I just want you to take heed of what he's saying. You know, we're talking about if you wanted to be anywhere from, let's say, a podcaster, actor, media personality, musician, anything under the space of digital that it has to be done, SEO is key. It's super key. I mean, you got to figure minimum in each state, minimum maybe, depending on the region, minimum 1,000 people are doing the same thing you're doing. How are you separating yourself from the pack determines on your SEO. I want to ask you, as an expert, is it a heavy, how's the best way I could put it? Is it a heavy necessity when one using SEO with their, let's say, social media, let's say like with their Facebook and Instagram, even though both are the same because they're the same company, or even with someone with Twitter? What's your take on that, or what's been your expertise over the years?
It just depends who your audience is. That's the number one thing, is who is your audience and where are they? Are they on Google? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest? Where are they? You gotta be in front of your audience. You don't need to be everywhere. A lot of people with social be like, I gotta be on every platform, which it'll be great to be on every platform, but you really need to just be where your audience is at. So like, take a step back, put yourself in the user's point of view. If you're looking for your product or service or whatever you're offering, where would you be going? That's where you need to be. And you can also just find a competitor, see where they're at, what platforms they're using, what platforms they're active on. But like, you gotta think like someone like a dentist or a lawyer. Not many people really want to care about or are going to go on Facebook or Instagram looking for them. Some people might, but most people are probably going to go on Google. And then after they find them on Google or Yelp or wherever they're at, they're going to check them out on social, make sure they're a real company, make sure they have reviews. They could ask questions. Like social media puts a face behind the company, but it also depends what you're doing. Like if you're doing music, acting, entertainment, social media is definitely where you got to be, because people aren't really searching for actors or like music on Google. They're gonna be searching on other places, or like music, gotta be on Spotify, SoundCloud, and all those have algorithms, just like with SEO, ranking a website, ranking your song on SoundCloud, or ranking your music on Spotify. All are algorithms, ranking your videos on YouTube, just trying to get you up there.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And also too, I want to ask you, what's the base? What would be the base? What's the annual base salary? Let's say if my creators are somebody that wants to come into the game or into the industry of as an SEO expert, what's the minimum salary are they looking at in comparison to maybe a 5-year career or longer?
Yeah, I don't know, because the last time I worked full-time at a job, it was 5 years ago, and that was more upper level. So I guess intro beginner, maybe nowadays in 2022, maybe like 50, 60,000 a year.
Okay.
I'm just guessing, not 100% sure. And every industry's or every location is different. Like I'm in Los Angeles, so
Right.
they might give a little bit more out here just because
The bigger market.
It's so expensive. Homes, gas, everything's just overpriced out here. So they might put a little bit higher. And then maybe if you've been around for 5 years, maybe like 80,000 range, give or take. I'm not 100% sure. Like maybe that's like SEO manager, director of SEO would be able to step higher, maybe like 6-figure possibly. But again, not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've worked at a company. I quit my job a few years ago just to focus on my business, but was working full-time at advertising agencies, working at mom and pop shops and all these other companies over the years doing their SEO. So I know it's around that range in Los Angeles, but everywhere else.
Cool. No, that's what's up. And I also want you to still stay on about when you ventured on into your business, like take us into the process, take us into when did you feel it was time, because it takes time for that matter. It's not just oh, you know what, let me just jump in and do my own thing. Because I feel that storyline and narrative, especially in this era, it doesn't have a lot of weight behind it, because it's now the new trending thing to say or trending thing to do. So I definitely want you to talk to my creatives about your process and your story based upon your decision of wanting to do your own company.
Yeah, no, ever since I first got into digital marketing back in 2007, I didn't know much about it. First job I ever got was doing digital marketing after I graduated from college, got my degree in business marketing. And this company's like, hey, we want you to come to or do SEO. I was like, I have no idea what this is. And they're like, we're going to take you to classes, workshops, seminars. And after going to a few classes, they kept talking about like, hey, you could have your own website, you could have your own business, you could sell products, affiliate marketing and all this stuff. So it piqued my interest. And then I realized I could just go to like a restaurant nearby and be like, hey, do you want to rank at the top of Google? I'll help you get to the top of Google. So started picking up freelance clients here and there. Wasn't really focused too much on building it up because I was happy with working full time and having a couple extra clients, making some extra money on the side. But after a while, I realized maybe I should really focus on it. And I'd be working after work or before work on weekends on my business and working full time at these companies, advertising agencies, small, medium-sized businesses, and eventually built it up where I was able to quit my job. But it took me a while. It's not just immediate. I mean, everyone wants that instant virality, go viral,
right?
Just blow up and just take off. But it takes time. And I made sure that I was making the same amount that I was making at this advertising agency, that I was making at my company for at least 6 months before I just quit my job, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you never know. So got to be prepared and have at least some strategy, backup strategy, just in case it doesn't work out.
No, that's what's up, man. I'm really glad you touched on that. And my creators, I really want you to take heed in what Brandon was saying. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, yes, in this era, it's the instant gratification of, oh yeah, I could leave the job now and have my business. Now I'm all right. And it's like, no, that's not really what it is. You heard what Brandon said. Brandon still stayed with the job long enough until, you know, his equity and also his finances were at the same pace and same value as where his job was at. Then he left and went on his own. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely glad you touched on that, Brandon. Now, definitely with your company, like how many cases do you guys go over, or how many companies do you guys deal with on a monthly basis per se? Let's just go on that on a monthly basis.
Yeah, that one just varies depending on, sometimes be a bunch of people coming in, sometimes like when 2020 happened, lost a bunch of clients because I deal with a lot of local businesses, which they had to close their doors, and fortunately not many of them reopened, but helping to figure it out, rebranding and restructuring and refiguring out my clientele. But yeah, I usually try not to do too many. I mean, I have some people helping me out. So in the past, if it was just me by myself, I'd probably say 10 is kind of like the max. I mean, you could try to do 20, but it just depends on the keywords. Like, how competitive are these keywords? Because with SEO, it's not just like, oh, this is what I do for every website. Every website is different. Sub websites, like you might be an e-commerce website selling clothing. You might have 10,000 products on your website. It's a lot of work to do versus someone that's like a dentist. They only have one page or a couple services that they offer. So it just depends on how competitive, how many pages you have. That lets me know how much time needs to be dedicated, because it's really not one size fits all with SEO or just digital in general. Every website, every business is different. If we're both selling like basketballs, your audience might be a little bit different than mine. Your branding, your tone, your voice, all that stuff is going to be slightly different. So just because it's working for one way doesn't mean it's going to work for the other.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I love what I'm hearing, man, because I'm not even gonna lie. In 2020 during the pandemic, when it really hit, you know, I was worried. I'm not gonna lie, because you know, two of the studios that I was operating out of with my content, and at the time I was with Floss Magazine. I had my own column and everything like that. You know, I'm operating off of, you know, an iPhone and an iPad. You know, I had to think about it quick, and definitely, you know, building my SEO, it kept me afloat during these times. And then now where I'm at now, you know, it's helped me out tremendously once again. And, you know, just doing the best I can to strengthen my SEO. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, you know, guys like yourself who are doing this, you know, we must commend you. Us that have a brand, creatives, musicians, artists, companies, we must commend you guys, because, you know, if you guys weren't here, I mean, who knows what anybody would be doing? You know, who would have like the instant gratification success? Who would quickly be the stars they are, you know, ASAP, if, you know, the SEO wasn't up to par. So, you know, definitely gonna give you kudos and your flowers and everything, that magnitude. I know you definitely gotta get going. One last question I want to ask. If you had to choose, right? Let's say go back 07, right? If you had to choose, and let's say you didn't know as much as you knew about SEO, would you pick that career again if you had the second chance to?
Yeah, looking back now, probably. I mean, I enjoy being my own boss, the flexibility, the freedom to set my own hours, pick and choose when I want to work, even though being your own boss, you work way more, but the flexibility is definitely worth it. And it lets me help myself out too, because I mean, SEO is not my first choice, but I learned how to market businesses, and I love skateboarding. So started a skateboarding company a few years ago because I realized over the years, you got to follow your passion. You got to do what you love. Like digital marketing, I mean, I don't mind it. I love helping companies grow, watching them grow, but my passion really is skateboarding. So trying to build that up and use what I've learned over the years into that skateboarding business, and trying to build that up using social, which is, like I said earlier, like every business is different. Like SEO doesn't really work for social media, but sports, like skateboarding or any sports, huge for social media, Instagram, YouTube. People want that visual content. So it's just about knowing your audience and really tapping into that social and trying to build that skateboard company up, because yeah, gotta follow your passions. That's so important.
All right, that's what's up, Brandon, man. Nonetheless, man, I know you got to get going because you're definitely a busy busy man. But nonetheless, man, reach out to my creators right now. Let my creators know where to follow you at, where they can find your services, and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so everyone that's listening, I create a special gift for them if they go to my website, SEOoptimizers.com. That's SEOoptimizers.com/gift. They can find that there with my contact information. And I do a bunch of other classes I've done over the years, throwing them all up there for free. So if they want to learn more about anything related to digital marketing, SEO, social media, Google Analytics, to track everything, pretty much threw that all up there and a couple other resources. So they go there, they can find that all.
All right, that's what's up, man. Nonetheless, my creatives, you already know this is another edition of Cuts, episode 107. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, you know where to follow the Ruger Sprayer at Reemo Meerak _ on Instagram. Twitter is at Reemo Meerak. Also, the website reemomeerak.com. And you know the IG for Cuts, C.U.T.S _ and as well as if you want to be a guest on the podcast, hit me up on email or hit up the show on email, cutspodcast1@gmail.com. You already know what it is. This is episode 107 of Cuts, baby. You know what the Cuts stand for: culture, urban, technology, and sports. My creators, you hear that? You know what happens next? We pound that chest. It's PTC. That's the hashtag. Come on, man. You already know what it is. We out here. It's the 2 Up. Hey, my creators, what's going on, man? You know what it is, man. This is Neighborhood Ruger Sprayer, Reemo Meerak. Nonetheless, man, you just listened to another episode of Cuts. You know what the Cuts stand for: culture, urban, technology, and sports. Nonetheless, my creators, if you want more, if you want more episodes, if you want to give feedback, hey, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, hit the email cutspodcast1@gmail.com, as well as the Instagram. Hit the Instagram up at C.U.T.S_. Hey, even if you want to get on my personal Instagram, you know what it is, man. Hit me up at Reemo Meerak _ on Instagram, as well as on Twitter at Reemo Meerak. Also, too, if you want to go to my website, hit my website up, reemomeerak.com. And also, too, music creatives. You want to send me your music? Send me your music. I'll give you a great feedback. Also on groover.com. You know what's up. You know what it is. The hashtag PTC. That's pound that chest. Come on, man. Let's get it. Let's go.